Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving into a career that's essential to, well, keeping us all rolling. We're talking tire vulcanizers.
And it's more than just slapping on a spare, trust me. We've got a stack of RoleCatcher resources on this one, from their career guides to real interview questions. Should be interesting.
Definitely. So let's get down to it. What does a tire vulcanizer actually do all day?
Okay, so think of it this way. A tire vulcanizer, they're like the surgeons of the tire world.
Hmm.
When you get a puncture, a slow leak, those treads are wearing thin. That's what you call.
Okay, I can see that.
But here's the thing. Tires aren't just rubber, right? They've got this whole inner structure, castings, treads.
Hmm.
It's crucial for safety, how your car performs, everything.
Castings, like what does that even mean in a tire?
All right, picture it like a skeleton. Castings, they're the bones, the framework inside that gives the tire its shape, its strength. Treads are more like the skin, that outer layer, those grooves that grip the road. You know what I mean?
So damaged casting, that's a big deal, like breaking a bone in your car.
Exactly. That's where the vulcanizer steps in. They've got the skills, the tools to repair those castings, those treads. It's a real craft.
So it's like high-stakes surgery, but for your car instead of a person.
That's a great way to put it, actually.
Yeah.
And just like a surgeon, they need steady hands, that eye for detail, knowing how to work under pressure.
Because, I mean, blowing a tire on the highway, yeah, that's pressure.
Tell me about it. People's safety is riding on their work, literally. One bad tire repair, things can go south real fast.
It's a lot of responsibility then. I never thought of it that way.
It is, but that's also what makes it secure. RoleCatcher guide mentions this people aren't going to stop driving anytime soon.
That's for sure. And cars are only getting more complex, so I'm guessing the job's changing too, right? Keeping up with all that.
100%. Remember those castings and treads? The materials they use now, it's constantly evolving. Tire technology, it's always advancing.
So it's not your grandpa's tire repair anymore. You got to stay on top of things.
Exactly. That's where the learning never really stops. The guide emphasizes that a good vulcanizer, they're always upskilling. Workshops, certifications in the new techniques, even digital diagnostics.
Wait, hold up. Digital for tires?
You bet. Tireworks going high-tech, no doubt. We're talking laser alignments that'll catch a hair's width of error, sensors for tire pressure that'll tell you instantly, even predictive stuff, knowing a problem before it happens.
Now that's pretty wild. So it's not just hands-on. It's got to be tech savvy too these days.
Totally. And that's a big draw for a lot of people getting into it now. It's like this cool mix of old school skill and what's coming next.
Yeah, I bet that's appealing. So you've got job security, interesting tech, and knowing you're keeping people safe on the road. Sounds like a good gig.
It can be, definitely. But let's be real, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's physically demanding, often loud, greasy.
Yeah.
There's risks, injuries happen.
That comes with the territory, right? Heavy equipment, maybe some nasty chemicals.
Yeah, RoleCatcher doesn't sugarcoat that. They're big on safety protocols, the right gear, things like chemical hazards, dust, even something falling and hurting you. It's all in there.
Good reminder that it's still tough work, even with the cool tech. Takes strength, stamina, and being careful.
Exactly. Not for everyone. But for the right person, someone who likes that fast pace, working with their hands, it can be really rewarding. And as you get more experience, there's some interesting ways your career can go.
All right, so let's talk about moving up in the tire world. You don't just start at the top, right? What's the path look like?
Good question. RoleCatcher, they actually lay out a typical path, and it's kind of cool to see how you progress.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's step one?
Usually you're starting as an apprentice, maybe a trainee. You're shadowing the pros, learning the ropes, getting comfy with the tools.
Literally getting your hands dirty. I like it.
Exactly. Then, as your skills and your confidence build, you move up, become a junior vulcanizer. That's where you start handling more on your own, still with supervision, of course, but more responsibility.
So still learning, but getting that independence.
Right. And then comes the exciting part, becoming a senior tire vulcanizer. Now, you're not just fixing, you're leading a team. You're the boss of the workshop. You might even be the one training those new apprentices. Some even get super specialized, like those high-tech laser alignments we talked about, or working on, like big trucks and stuff.
Wow, so there's room to become a real expert in this.
Oh, yeah. And RoleCatcher, they even mention some people, once they've really made a name for themselves, they go and open their own shops.
Ah, the dream. Be your own boss. But I'm guessing that takes serious dedication, real love for the work.
No question. And that passion, that's what really comes out in job interviews. Speaking of which, RoleCatcher has a ton of info about nailing those interviews. They've looked at thousands for this exact job.
Ooh, now that's what I want to know. We've covered the what of being a tire vulcanizer. Let's get into the how. How do you actually land the job? What are they looking for in an interview?
Okay, so we've got our metaphorical toolkit ready. What kind of questions are they throwing at aspiring tire vulcanizers in these interviews? Give me the inside scoop.
Well, you get the usual suspects like, tell me about your experience with vulcanizing equipment, stuff like that.
Right, makes sense. Got to make sure you know the basics.
Yeah, yeah. Or like, how would you handle a difficult customer? Because, I mean, it's not just about the tires, right? You're dealing with people too.
Exactly. Got to have those people skills.
100%. But then you get to the questions that really tell you who's got what it takes. Things like, describe a time you had to troubleshoot a problem with a repair. What'd you do? Ah, so they want problem solvers, not just button pushers.
You got it. Or another one RoleCatcher pointed out, how do you stay up to date on the latest in tire technology? That says a lot about someone's passion, their commitment.
Because who wants a tire guy stuck in the dark ages when your car is practically a spaceship? No way.
Exactly. And this is where RoleCatcher really shines. Remember those 120,000 interview questions they've analyzed? It's not random, thankfully.
Oh, good, because that would be overwhelming. So what do they do with all that data?
Their AI, it figures out which questions you're most likely to get asked, based on the job description, your experience, all that. Like a personalized study guide.
Now that's smart. Like they've got a mole inside the interviewer's brain or something.
It's the next best thing, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And it gets even cooler.
Nah.
You can record yourself answering practice questions.
Oh, wow. So you can hear all your ums and ahs and stuff. I'd be terrified, but also super helpful.
Right. But RoleCatcher, they help you through that too. Their
Mhm.
Copilot AI, it'll give you feedback on your answers, how fast you're talking, even your body language if you're on video.
Okay, so now it's like having a personal coach in your pocket, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And all that practice, it does wonders for your confidence, which, let's be honest, is half the battle in any interview.
Confidence is key. Okay, so we've talked skills, career path, the interview gauntlet, but before we go full-on RoleCatcher fan club, what really stood out to you about the whole tire vulcanizer world? Anything surprise you?
You know, what really got me was how this old school trade is going through this high-tech revolution. We touched on it, but it's more than I realized. Robotic tire changers, 3D printed tire parts. It's wild.
Like old school skills meets the future. That's a cool combo.
Totally. And that's what makes it exciting, right? You can get hands-on, but you're also right there with the latest tech, the best of both worlds.
For sure. And that brings us to our big question for the listeners to ponder. We've seen automation changing everything, and tires are no exception. So how's that going to shake things up for the tire vulcanizers of tomorrow? What do you think?
$1 million question. On one hand, as the machines get smarter, they can handle the more basic stuff. Tire changes, simple repairs. That frees up the human vulcanizer for the specialized stuff.
So not replacing them, but changing what their day looks like.
Exactly. But then you got to ask, how does that change the learning curve? If you're not doing as much hands-on early on, what skills do you need? It's a shift.
Right, yeah. Do you need less hands-on time, more digital know-how? It's a whole different ballgame.
And that's what these schools, the industry, they're all figuring out now. We might see a blend,
Yeah.
apprenticeships combined with like data analysis courses, even programming. Who knows?
The tire vulcanizer of the future, coding in the morning, fixing a flat in the afternoon.
Right. Whatever happens, though, they're always going to be essential.
Absolutely. People need to drive, and driving needs tires. Full stop. But seeing how that job evolves with the tech, that's the exciting part.
Totally agree. It's wide open with possibilities. And speaking of possibilities, let's circle back to RoleCatcher, because they're all about helping people find those possibilities in the tire world and beyond.
All right, so we spent a good chunk of time talking about what it takes to be a tire vulcanizer, the skills, the demands, but you've also been dropping some pretty big hints about how RoleCatcher can help someone actually land that perfect job. What's the secret sauce?
Okay, so let's say you're on RoleCatcher, right? You've made your profile, you've listed out your skills, your experience, maybe even used their tools to polish up your CV. It's all in there.
Got it. I'm on the platform, feeling good.
Yeah.
Then what?
That's where the AI magic happens.
Yeah.
Takes everything you've put in your skills, what you want to do, the whole 9 yards, and it's comparing that to like mountains of data.
Yeah.
Job postings, companies, even stuff like industry trends, salaries.
So it's not just matching keywords, it's like actually understanding what you're about and finding the right fit.
Exactly. And here's the kicker. RoleCatcher, it doesn't just show you jobs. It finds companies who are looking for you specifically. Like they might not even have a job advertised, but they're open to being wowed by the right person.
Wait, hold on. You're saying RoleCatcher can get you noticed before you even APPLY anywhere?
You got it. It's like having your own personal headhunter, but digital, always working. And because you've used RoleCatcher to get prepped, that CV is tight, you've practiced your interview answers. You're not just showing up, you're showing up ready.
Okay, that's a game changer, I'm not gonna lie. Instead of hoping someone picks you out of a pile, you're being handed opportunities that make sense for what you're good at.
Exactly. You're creating your own luck. And even once you've got that interview lined up, RoleCatcher's still there for you. They've got a whole section for career development, and it's tailored. So for Tyre Vulcanisers, they've got specific stuff.
So you can keep learning, stay on top of the tech, even if you've already got the job.
100%. Articles, videos, they even have online courses from like the newest vulcanizing techniques to the business side if you want to open your own shop one day. It's all there.
I love that. It's not just about getting you hired, it's about your whole career, long term.
Totally. They want you to succeed, plain and simple.
Well, color me impressed.
Mhm.
This whole deep dive has been eye-opening. We've gone from patching punctures to the future of tires, the tech, everything. I've learned a lot.
Me too. And hey, maybe there's someone listening who never even thought about this kind of work before. And now they're hooked. Who knows?
That's what we like to hear. So to everyone listening, remember, there's a ton of opportunity out there. Stay curious, stay informed, and you'll find your path. This has been The Deep Dive. See you next time.